Okay, so, hey you all. I wanted to make, another kind of video like this for YouTube because I don't really do these as much, but I'm trying to get them done a little bit more because I feel like there needs to be a change in my content, in what I do. Um, if I'm being honest, I had a very tough day today because, it's come to my attention that, when it comes to my past with trolling and stuff, it's caught up to me in ways I didn't expect it to. Um, and what I mean by that is, I won't say like any names of any friend groups, but like there's groups that I know of where I'm friends with the person, but mostly everybody in that group does not like me or doesn't like the persona of me rather that I presented. And it's caused friction and, a level of like hatred might be extreme, but I guess I'll use it since it's I guess a good way to describe it. Um, a way that I can connect to describing it. So like, it's caused a sense of hatred and disdain that just isn't very good for my brand, what I stand for, and everything. And just talking about it, like I really had thought about. I'm sorry if I'm pausing so much. I'm just trying to think of everything to say. But it just caused me to think about like the direction of the channel because the thing is, yes, I have, I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I have trolled in my past, and I have also catfished as well. Um, there's a lot of personal reasons that have happened with that, and while I understand, a lot of people are gonna look at this and say, that's wrong, and it is, and I can't speak. It is indeed wrong to do those things, but also understand it comes from somewhere, and a lot of the time with behaviors like this, because they're so unusual, they also can be hard to break. And when you've gotten used to doing them for years, and gotten used to doing them for years, they're very difficult to break. And even when you do decide to break them at some point, you know, there's going to be people that know that version of you, and that version of me is not who I am in the present. I've come to the realization that I had an addiction to catfishing and trolling, and part of the reason for that was because it gave me power knowing that I could um with catfishing it gave me power knowing that like I could get you know nudes or get whoever I wanted without the consequence of being looked at as weird or too sexual or anything like that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was scared as fuck. I was scared. I was scared of judgment. I was scared of negative attention and stuff like that. And it ended up backfiring me in that case because when people found out it was me, it became more awkward and more uncomfortable. And they, saw me as, they couldn't trust me and it was awful. Um, and then for the trolling, it gave me a laugh when I was going through tough time periods in my life because I was going through a lot of like depression. I'm still going through the depression a little bit by the day, even now actually, and it got me a lot of depression. I mean, it got me through a little bit through like some depression by giving me an occasional laugh, and then um, doing it to people that like because sometimes like I would do it to friends nowadays, or once did rather. I'm not doing it now, but I'm saying like um, weeks ago or months ago actually in the present, I do it to friends so that way I wouldn't feel as bad for doing it. But um, in some cases, it can cause like things to happen in the real life that I did not expect. And I just want to say I would never intend for anybody's life to be ruined. by whatever it was that I was trolling about. I would never want that to happen. I just want that to be clear. I would never want that to happen. Um, but yeah, so the trolling, gave me some power in some kind of way, and I definitely had to be mindful of the consequences of it, towards somebody else. And then, what was the other thing too? The consequences. Forgive me. I need to get my thoughts together. I should have did that before this video, but whatever. It is what it is. Um, hmm. Oh yeah. So also, it affected the way people look at me as well. Um, I didn't realize this, but I realized how much the trolling overshadowed my overall image of what people thought of me. And you should not care what people think of you, but you should care how it affects your overall reputation and potentially your brand, but more so maybe your reputation, because I mean I don't have much of a particular brand, but I do have a reputation to uphold for myself, because perception, people's point of view of you is powerful. And the thing about me too also is that um I have a lot of good things going in my life, and typically when people troll, typically people assume that you're a low life, you don't have anything going for you. For me, what I have going for me, I have jobs that I mean no, not jobs. I'm in school for business. I go to school for business, but also like my career goal is to become HR, human resources, and I really want to go into that field. Um, and on top of that, I had to do mad research into why I wanted to do the field, and part of the I'm gonna be honest and say part of the reason I wanted to do HR was because of money. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't want to do it because of money. Um, I also, I am able to talk to people. It might not seem like it, or you might not get the vibe from me because of, how I am on camera, but I do enjoy talking to people. Just earlier today when I had my class, I was talking to people just fine. I was connecting. I was telling the honest truth about why people, when they're 18 years old, after like coming straight from high school into college, why it fails. Well, the professor was asking me that because she was saying, why do people fail or don't succeed in graduating after this time? And part of the reason many people don't do it is because they're coming straight from high school into college. Like they're coming into an environment where they had it easy into college, where college is full of depth. I don't know if I hope I'm saying depth, but it's hard to get it off my lips properly the way that I expect. But yeah, depth. There's not much. There's a lot of depth in college. There's a lot of resources that you have to manage, and it takes a certain mindset and a certain, you know, acknowledgement of your own worth and skills to see what major should I be choosing, and that's a lot of work. And that being said, I was able to give some really good reasons as to why. So I'm pretty smart when it comes to that stuff. Or I've trained myself to. I'm very smart when it comes to that stuff. So yeah, I'm probably rambling a bit, but the point of this video mostly is to kind of give an idea of who I am as a person and how the trolling and the path of catfishing don't define me. But also to express that like I want to change from those things, and I do want to get therapy at some point to talk about those things, because I feel like I didn't really have a proper voice to let it out to besides maybe one or two friends. Um, so it's been uncomfortable, very uneasy, and it takes a lot of like accepting. It takes a lot of accepting where you go wrong, and a lot of wanting to change. And change is not fun. Change is a hard process, and this is one of those hard processes. Because once I found out what people really thought of me online, it hurt my fucking feelings. It fucking hurt my feelings. Because it disappointed me because I'm not that person. I'm not that guy that I presented online. And the reason I even presented that was because I was literally trying to be satirical. I was trying to make my life more fun or more funny, give me a laugh and stuff. And one thing a guy told me is that 2 seconds of a laugh is not worth, ruining your whole reputation. It's not worth it. And trolling, even to your friends too, can also be risky because then it can affect their life and, um, you know, change their perception of you. And again, you shouldn't care about what other people think, but you should care about the overall reputation. And my reputation with the online community has completely overshadowed what I'm actually about. Because the person who's off the Damien off of, the social media presence is a lot different than the one in the social media presence. Because the one in the social media presence is, you know, more jokey, but the one offline is more serious. And I kind of wanted to escape reality with that because I kind of was like, you know what, this is my escape out of it. And then, what ends up happening is that the criticism gets louder, and then it gets more and more harsh, and then it gets to the point where you're like, I can't fucking handle it anymore. It's just because that's not me. There's people, there's that hate, use that hate, or not even really hate, or I wouldn't even really say hate, really, but maybe more criticism. Use that criticism to someone who's actually doing stuff that's really bad. I'm not actually a bad person. I've just made some bad mistakes. I'm really sorry. Freaking arguing up there. But I just made some really bad mistakes. And bad decisions, rather. And, it just caused me to think of the future of the channel because the thing is, I'm also a singer, songwriter as well. And, I put effort into my lyrics. I put effort into everything I write. I think about stuff. I mean, I do the writing process alone, but I've learned how to sing, with the vocal coach and stuff like that. There's a lot of shit I have to do to get a song to come out a certain way. I have to think about to get a song to come out a certain way. It's not easy. And that being said, those are the things I want to be known for. I want to be known for, my drive and passion into business and succeeding out of it. And I want to be known for being a singer, songwriter. And then I want to be known also for my personality. I fucking love talking to people. I love talking to people. I love getting to know them. I love getting to know people for, who they are. I don't judge people for their past either. And when I hear something bad, I'll do this trick where I'll listen and kind of, get really engaged. If someone tells me they're a scammer, I'll kind of just be like, oh, that's kind of cool. But in my head, I'm like, nah, that's horrible. Why would you want to do that? So, so you see, there's things I stand for, and there's things I stand for that, I'm against, just like everybody else. So, I'm not this, complete dumpster fire of a joke. I'm not this person that, is so evil, he can't make any friends, he can't do anything right, he's a complete fuck-up. That's not me. But unfortunately, when it came to the trolling, that's what was presented, overall, and I just didn't think about it, and I do apologize, or rather, I'm going to say, I'm sorry to those that I affected from the trolling, because, that is damaging, and that is horrible to ever go through, and, I never want anyone's life to be fucked up by my mistakes or anything that I do, but on top of that, I just have so much potential in my life, and I just want to do better for myself. I really do. I really want to do better for myself. Because it genuinely makes me sad that people look at me this way, because it hurt. It absolutely hurt. It really hurt. But I promise to you all that I'll do the work to get it fixed and, be more vulnerable. That's one thing I don't do enough on here, too. I'm not very vulnerable. Or I'm overly vulnerable on stuff that's like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm not that vulnerable. I'm probably like that in my streams, but the thing is, those are streams. Those are not like legitimate videos that you can sit and watch and say, I agree with you on that. There's not like no, because most people don't watch my streams, but people do watch my videos or will watch videos. So I definitely do want to acknowledge that. It's been a hard road for me this past few months, and I just want to just better myself for the better. I apologize if I'm looking around so much. I'm just thinking, and I'm kind of nervous. I've never been this open and honest in a video for like a long time. Not saying I was never honest, but I mean to be this deep level of revealing and vulnerable is absolutely insane. And yeah. But we all go through things. We all make mistakes. We all go through addiction. Addiction doesn't have to be just alcohol. It can be other things. It can be you're addicted to sugar or something, and it's affecting your health, and it's affecting the way that you eat. And if you have a partner, they might not be happy that you have a sugar addiction, and if they're angry with you for lying about fixing it and you didn't actually fix it, they might leave you. So there's an example of that. One for the catfishing is that even because the thing with me with catfishing, I would catfish for nudes. But the reason it's so bad because it does go under the category of lying. Now, I'm by no means a pathological liar of any kind. When I do lie with people, with certain people as friends, like we're just joking, like I'm obviously joking, like I'm lying about something that I know is obviously untrue to that person. I would not lie about something serious, like I'm going to school and I'm really not going to school. Because if I'm not going to school, I should just tell you. Well, I shouldn't. Well, I should tell you if I change my mind of some kind of way. I'm not going to lie about something like that for the camera because, most people would believe that. Because why wouldn't you? If I say I'm going to school, I'm going to school. There should be no reason for me to ever lie about that. But I'm just saying, for example, to give you context. But catfishing does go into like the lying category, and I didn't realize how damaging it could be or how much it could like affect how people view me until I did it and then dealt with the anger and the pain, the upset from doing it. And although it's not the worst thing ever to do, it puts a bad taste in people's mouth with me. And part of the reason I catfish, I wanted, I just was addicted to, I just had sexual kinks that I wanted to be fulfilled. I wanted them to be fulfilled. I needed to see images of, someone's body to, give me pleasure, if you know what I mean. Like, I just needed that. And, I wasn't going about it in the right way. So it led to some, breakaways in relationships. Same thing with trolling as well. And it just made me realize, I'm like, the other stuff in my life is not as bad. This is the thing that's like holding me back. Because I think as a human being, we all have things that hold us back. But some things are harder to spot than others. But this was the number one thing where I'm like, I didn't think it affected my life that badly until I sat down, talked to a friend about it, and then really thought about it. And then when I did, it made me cry at night. It was very upsetting. So, yeah, I just want to stop doing that. But what I decide to do, as far as like how to prevent myself from catfishing or trolling, on my, fake account or whatever, rather than just deleting it entirely, I let people know what it's for. It's just for me to follow, like, I guess, sexual accounts or whatever. Um, because on my main social media page, I don't, I don't follow those kinds of accounts because I don't want people knowing I follow those accounts. Um, so that's why I have the page for that reason. But it should strictly only be for that reason. For accounts that are based around the sexual stuff, but also not to catfish people on its own. And I have in my profile, this is not a real page, this is considered a lurk or something like that. Don't, something like that. I made sure to have that in there because if I didn't, then I would feel like then I would feel like I'd still be catfishing. So to make me feel like I'm catfishing less, I put that in there, and then when I talk to people, I let them know. I make sure to let them know so there's not a confusion. Because the thing with social media, all you gotta do is click someone's page that you're following, and then see who they're following, and it will tell you a lot about them. And it can be a little invasive. So there's that thing. But I had to learn a lot these few days, and it wasn't easy. But I just want to let you all know that I'm willing to change and willing to do the work. Do the work to change. I can't speak. Do the work to change and better myself for the future. I don't really know what else to really say. I really don't know what else to say. But I'm just gonna just upload it, and I'll let you guys see for yourself what you want to see. But yeah, moving forward, the things I do want to promote on my page is stuff about my life, maybe even life stories, because I have a lot of story times. Just a lot of story times, lots of things I go through, um, stuff about my major in school, and then also, of course, my music, and I want to reveal more aspects of my personality as well that aren't, me screaming and cussing when I'm playing Tekken and saying crazy obscenities. Now, the gaming community is known for saying things like that. Like, we all say crazy stuff when we game, or if not most of us. But the problem is that it doesn't tie in too well with the trolling or, so I'm trying to think of the word, the trolling and the catfishing that I presented and all that. Um, because, again, as I said before, it was an escape from life. It wasn't something that was legitimately me. Um, what is legitimately me is me going to school for business, me being a singer-songwriter, and, me being a gamer, of course, but I also, I just want to play different games. I don't want to just play only Tekken, only Overwatch. Because the thing about those games, they bring a lot of anger to me. They don't really provide, they're not really good stress relievers. At least for me, they're not, because fighting games in general are not good stress relievers. So, terrible stress relievers. Also very boring to play after a while. They don't have a lot of content. I mean, Overwatch has a good amount of content, but Tekken is very boring. All you do is go online and fight the same kind of opponents. And, learn the matchup of fighters. That's really all you do. There's not any variety to how you play the game. And it's, excuse me, it's just not very good for, like, a long-term success in terms of, like, my mental health. And for the channel, it's just not very good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff in the future. And I definitely do want to present a better side of myself. It's just not been an easy day today, and I really just had some thoughts in my mind. I just wanted to get all of that off my chest. Because losing people is not fun. Although it's a part of life, it is not fun. And sometimes we all need, like, a rock bottom to really get us to really see, like, where we go wrong. Where we fucked up at. Where we can change from. And for some of us, we need more than one, to really understand why it's a bad idea. So, I definitely needed more than one of those. But yeah, I'm kind of out of things to say, but I just wanted to get that stuff off my chest. I know that this is 24, well, going on 25 minutes. This is going to be like a long video. It's not something that I typically do, again, for my channel, but I wanted something different than what I normally do, and yeah, this is what I'm doing. So, yeah, I hope you guys can really get to know the side of me that's real, not the trolling side, the side where I'm like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like I get like that gets old. Imagine having to obtain that for like such a long time and being a certain way for a long time. That gets old. And then being seen as a joke when I'm a human being that has real emotions and real stuff. That can be draining for somebody's mental health, and it's taken me to a bad place. So I really do want to change up my channel and really present better things for myself. So it was great talking with you guys, but I'm gonna head out. I have to get some homework done on my laptop. Um, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. And I apologize for the shading. This is a weird room. Like I should be turning this way, but I don't really have a stand over here, so I have to use this side, so that's why the shading is like this. But yeah, have a good night.